Hey, what's up guys? It's me here again. I'm in a whole new location. I just recently moved my desk, so now I'm in a much better, more comfortable area, and this is good for videos. So anyway, we're going to be talking about Windows 11. Yeah, I've been using an unsupported processor with Windows 11. I'll get onto how that was possible later on in the video. But let's talk about my history with Windows. So, as some of you may know, I've always been using Windows. I grew up using Windows. You give me a Mac, I'm gonna be like, what? You give me Linux, I'm gonna be like, what? I'm so used to Windows. I've always been using Windows ever since the start of time. The oldest version I've used is Windows XP, Legendary, Windows Vista. I don't know. I've only used it like a few times, really, in my life. Windows 7, absolutely legendary. That was the one I've used the longest, and I love it. I love the user interface. It's amazing. Windows 8, god awful. Windows 10, okay. And now we're up to Windows 11, which was announced back in June of 2021. It was actually leaked like 10 days prior to its announcement, which is funny. And that's when we got to get a little sneak peek of Windows 11 and what it would look like, and look more like a Mac OS kind of look. Before we start talking about my experience, let's talk about the history. So basically, when I built this computer, I've started by using Windows 7 because I pulled the hard drive from the old Slimline. So I've been using Windows 7 for like the first 2 weeks. Why the first 2 weeks? Well, because my integrated graphics being outdated was no longer a problem because I had a graphics card that supported Windows 10. So I upgraded it to Windows 10. 2 weeks later, I've been using Windows 10 for like about a year on this computer. And then when Windows 11 came out, I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to run this because I meet all the requirements. But there was one thing that I overlooked, and it was the TPM 2.0. A large majority of people don't have a TPM 2.0. I mean, if it's a computer that's before 2017, you will not be able to experience it unless if you bypass the TPM 2.0. I knew about this trick for a really long time actually, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay on Windows 10 because, Windows 11 doesn't really have anything that exciting. I was never really excited about Windows 11 regardless. At the end of the day, it's just another operating system. That's just how I look at these operating systems, All these operating systems are basically just built off the previous one. Like, Windows XP to Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 7 to Windows 8, Windows 8 to Windows 8.1, Windows 8.1 to Windows 10, and then Windows 10 to Windows 11. They're all built off of each other. So, no shit, Windows 11 is just another Windows 10. Yeah, it's just another Windows operating system, period. Okay, just like all these other ones, that might have some minor changes, some major changes, whatever. It's still Windows at the end of the day. Microsoft is just making sure that it's up to date and making it good for everyone. Well, good enough for at least the people that like it. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Windows. That's fine. You don't have to like Windows. There's people that like Mac OS, or there's people that like Linux. I personally know some people that use Linux. And I personally know some people that use Mac. It's fine, whatever. I've always used Windows. But that's what I'm most familiar with. So let's talk about the installation process.
Alright, just to make this easier, I'm going to be using VirtualBox for this installation process. So, let's go. One thing I would like to point out is how the installation process literally hasn't changed since Windows Vista. I'm not even joking with you. Just take a look at this. When I was installing Windows Vista on the virtual machine, I was like, hey, that looks familiar. And that's because they never changed the goddamn installation process. Activate Windows? Ew. I'm not gonna pay you, Microsoft. Alright, so when I did this process, I actually chose the Pro version because I tried the home version and it didn't work. Would you look at that? Oh, this PC can't run Windows 11. Sorry guys, this video's over. Nah, I'm just kidding with y'all guys. There's a way around this and I'm about to show you how. Alright, so what you want to do is press Shift and F10 at once. Then this will open and you're going to type Regedit. Regedit. And then what you're going to do now is go to Local Machine, go to System, and then go to Setup. Then you're going to make a new key, and you're going to name this key lab config. Now that you created a new key, you're going to make a new 32-bit value, and you're going to name this one bypass TPM check. Then you're going to hit enter. then make another 32-bit value, and you're going to name it bypass secure boot check. Then you're going to click on them and set the value to 1. Both of them are going to be 1. And now that you got that out of the way, you can just close it and then just go on about your day like nothing happened. Okay, so this is what Windows 11 looks like by default. Light mode, ew. Taskbar in the middle, ew. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So, yeah, what I'm going to do about that is, first I'm going to go to personalize, and I'm going to change it to this wallpaper. You're about to see why I'm going to do it. Okay, so now it's like that. Dark mode. Now, to change the taskbar, I'm going to move it to the left. And yes, you can do that. It is not forced to be in the middle. You can actually move it to the left, which is what Windows has always been. And I want it to be like, I want to keep it that way. Anyway, so the reason why this is red is because I have this nice wallpaper right here. That is the default wallpaper, but it's actually red. This is a fan-made wallpaper, and I think it looks amazing. And that's why I chose that specific wallpaper, because it had like the red line right here. So, you know, it's perfect. It's nice and red. Everything's red. It's just perfect. Everything's perfect. So yeah, as you can see, this is red. It's good. So yeah, that's that's how I use Windows 11.
Is Windows 11 a good operating system? Yeah and no. Windows 11 has had some problems. My first few weeks of using it, there was no clock on the second monitor.
Oh, hell no.
The fact that you removed the clock on the second monitor in the first place is just an insult. This was later patched, but it's not really like a clock that you could just open up the calendar from. You can only do it on the primary monitor, which, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter that much, but yeah, from what I remember, in Windows 10 you could actually do that. I could be wrong, but I remember in Windows 10 you could actually open the calendar on the second monitor. Speaking of the calendar, there's no more detailed clock. And this is why I'm happy that the school computers are not upgraded to Windows 11. Because I want to know how many seconds are left until class is over. And yeah, our school tablets, they still use Windows 10. Every school computer still uses Windows 10. I've seen a few of them still running Windows 7. I don't know why, but yeah, some of them still run Windows 7. I mean, a lot of programs are still supported for it, so why not, I guess. Very disappointing that they removed that. I don't know why they keep removing some stuff, man. Another thing about Windows 11 is the new UI. I love the new UI, and I also hate it as well. I mean, I think the new UI actually looks more aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion. I hate it because it makes things a lot more complicated. Like, things are not simple like they used to. Back in Windows 10, you could just mess around with the taskbar options, the taskbar settings from the taskbar. You didn't have to open the settings app. Now you do. I don't get that. That's so stupid. Like, they just made it like one little freaking button on Windows 10. You could do it just from the freaking home screen. You need the center taskbar to be able to view the weather without hovering your mouse over it. And it tells you the weather without having to hover your mouse over it. But if you have it on the left, it's just an icon. Windows 10 actually had it on the right next to the little icons here. There's too many changes to even justify. I'm sorry. It's just terrible. And more about the new UI. When you right click on in the home screen, you get these new options. And, you know, you can view large, medium, small icons, auto arrange icons, allowing icons to grid, show desktop icons, or you can sort the name, size, item type, and date modified. You can refresh, new, and display settings, personalize, open Windows terminal, show more. Where is NVIDIA control panel? They brought the old one, the old version of the options. It's literally just repeats of the same goddamn thing you just saw. But, you know, there's NVIDIA control panel. But why you gotta go through so much goddamn trouble just for Windows, just for NVIDIA control panel? I don't get it. Show more options. Like, there are no more options. What are you talking about? Those were the options. The only more options was NVIDIA control panel. That makes absolutely no sense. It is so stupid. It's just another thing that just makes no sense with Windows 11. But anyway, let's talk about a serious problem with Windows 11. So, system requirements. At first, when everyone saw the system requirements, they were very confused. And then they realized that you needed a TPM 2.0. You know, they would look at the other requirements and they would think, oh, I can run this easily. It wasn't that simple, but it was not that simple. You'll be surprised how many computers do not have a TPM 2.0. You would have to have a computer from 2017 or newer for that shit. If your computer is like over 5 years old, you're not getting a chance with this baby unless if you did what I did. Yeah, the only computers in this apartment that can upgrade to Windows 11 without any trouble is my mom's new laptop and my brother's new computer. As much as I shit on it, the hardware is actually up to date. It's not outdated hardware like mine is. I have an outdated graphics card, an outdated CPU, and outdated RAM. I'm still using DDR3 RAM. And an outdated motherboard as well. I'm running on outdated hardware. And I pretty much cheated my way into Windows 11 just so, you know, I could try it out. And I ended up permanently keeping it.
Alright, now I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, you hate Windows 11. You're so negative. You hate everything about it. Well, there's actually some really good things about Windows 11. And it's multitasking. You can add windows all over the place. and you can do it in any kind of order you want. Like you have 6 different modes here to choose from, and this is something that we've been needing for such a long time. This is a really big game changer in my opinion. And oh yeah, and did I mention that Windows 11 actually has a startup sound? Yeah, Windows 8 and 10, they didn't have a new one. If you enabled it, it was just the one from Windows Vista and 7. Like, come on, bro. How pathetic do you gotta be?
Do I plan on switching back to Windows 10 despite all the complaints about it? No. I'm staying on Windows 11 regardless of the problems I have with it. At the end of the day, it's just another operating system, and eventually I'll get used to it. I know a new user interface can really be a big pain in the ass, but believe me, eventually we'll learn to accept this and we'll just kind of get used to it, and we're like, it's just another, it's just Windows, okay? It hasn't really affected much of how I do things. I'm still working the same way I do. I still game the same way I do. I never really noticed a major hit in performance. If it's a difference, it's a very little one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about Windows 11. Have you upgraded to Windows 11? Do you plan on upgrading to Windows 11? Do you not have a TPM 2.0? Like, I don't. I don't have a TPM 2.0, but I kind of cheated my way in it. If you wanted to try Windows 11, would you cheat your way to do it? Or would you actually upgrade your hardware to do it? Let me know. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and goodbye.